Darjeeling, a district in the Union state of West Bengal, is renowned for its stunning natural beauty, iconic tea industry, and colonial-era architecture. Darjeeling, also known as Queen of Hills, education hub, beautiful people, and wonderful climate. Apart from this, they have a dream, the dreams of Gorkhaland. The Darjeeling outcry for Gorkhaland stems from a long-standing demand by the Gorkha ethnic groups for a separate state within India, rooted in linguistic, cultural, and socio-economic differences from the rest of West Bengal. The movement gained momentum in the 1980s under Gorkha National Liberation Front (GNLF).
The history of Darjeeling dates back to the early 19th century. Before the British colonization, Darjeeling was part of Nepal in the past. During the late 18th and early 19th century, Darjeeling was under the control of the Kingdom of Sikkim. However, the Gorkha kingdoms present in Nepal expanded its territory aggressively during this period, and by the early 19th century, the Gorkhas had annexed parts of Sikkim, including the Darjeeling area. The Gorkha conquest of Darjeeling occurred around 1780. This annexation brought the region under Nepalese control, integrating it into the vast territories governed by the Gorkhas. After Anglo-Gorkha War 1814-1816 and the subsequent Treaty of Sugauli in 1815, Nepal was forced to cede significant territories to the British East India Company, including the Darjeeling area. After the treaty, the British initially returned to Darjeeling to the Kingdom of Sikkim in 1817. However, in 1835, the British East India Company acquired Darjeeling from the Chogyal, King of Sikkim, through a lease agreement. The British were attracted to Darjeeling for its strategic location, cool climate, and potential as a sanitarium and tea-growing region.
In 1835, East India Company negotiated a lease with Kingdom of Sikkim for the Darjeeling region.
Initially, Darjeeling was a small, obscure settlement, but under British rule, it rapidly developed into a permanent hill station. The British built infrastructure including roads, schools, and hospitals, and established tea plantation, which became the backbone of the region's economy. By the late 19th century, Darjeeling tea had gained an international claim for its unique flavor and quality. The Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, completed in 1881, further boosted the region's development by improving access and connectivity. The town also became a hub for education, with several prestigious schools established during the British era. After India gained independence in 1947, Darjeeling remained a part of West Bengal. However, the region's demographic composition and cultural identity were distinct from the rest of the state. The majority of the population consisted of ethnic Nepalese, Lepchas, and Bhutias, who felt a strong sense of cultural and linguistic identity separate from the Bengali-speaking population of the plains. Origins of the Gorkhaland Movement. The demand for a separate state of Gorkhaland can be traced back to the 20th century. The primary demand was for a state within India that would recognize and preserve the cultural identity of the Gorkhas, Nepali-speaking people. The Gorkhas, who had a distinct cultural and linguistic identity, felt marginalized and underrepresented in the political and administrative structures of West Bengal. In 1979, Indian Prime Minister Morarji Desai encouraged Nepali speakers across India by indicating that the Nepali language was foreign, and suggesting that Gorkhas should submit their petition to the King of Nepal rather than to him. This stance was continued by subsequent Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi, who also did not address the concerns of Darjeeling. As a result, the demand for Gorkhaland intensified. The movement gained momentum in the 1980s under the leadership of Subhash Ghisi, who founded the Gorkha National Liberation Front (GNLF) in 1980. Ghisi articulated the grievances of the Gorkha community and called for the creation of a separate state of Gorkhaland. The demand for Gorkhaland is solely for a separate state from Bengal, not for secession from India. On July 27, 1986, Kalimpong, 13 Gorkhaland activists were killed, including 13-year-old schoolgirl in a police firing, when the rally was being brought out to burn copies of Article VII of the Indo-Nepal Treaty of Peace and Friendship 1950, firing ordered by the then West Bengal communist government. This incident ignited violence in Darjeeling. The movement took a violence with widespread protests, strikes and clashes with the state authorities, leading to the loss of over 1,200 lives during the Gorkhaland Movement 1986-1988, which ultimately did not succeed but resulted in the formation of the Darjeeling Gorkha Hill Council.
Formation of the Darjeeling Gorkha Hill Council in 1988. A tripartite agreement was reached between the GNLF, the West Bengal government and the Indian government. This led to the creation of the Darjeeling Gorkha Hill Council, a semi-autonomous administrative body to govern the Darjeeling Hills. Subhash Ghisi became the chairman of the Darjeeling Gorkha Hill Council, and the council was granted limited administrative powers over certain areas such as education, health, and tourism. While the formation of the Darjeeling Gorkha Hill Council was seen as a step towards addressing the grievances of the Gorkha community, it did not fully satisfy the demand for a separate state. Ghisi's leadership of the Darjeeling Gorkha Hill Council was marked by the allegation of corruption and mismanagement, which eventually eroded his support base. Emergence of the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha (GJM). In 2007, the Gorkha movement was revitalized under the leadership of Bimal Gurung, who broke away from the GNLF and formed the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha (GJM). Gurung accused Ghisi of bettering the Gorkha cause and called for renewed agitation for a separate state. The GJM movement gained widespread support, leading to large-scale protests, strikes, and road blockades. The Gorkha Janmukti Morcha's agitation culminated in the signing of a new tripartite agreement in 2011, leading to the formation of the Gorkhaland Territorial Administration's GTA, which replaced the Darjeeling Gorkha Hill Council. The GTA was granted greater administrative powers and financial autonomy compared to its predecessor. Bimal Gurung became the chief executive of the GTA, and the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha continued to push for full statehood. Leadership and factionalism. The Gorkhaland movement has seen significant internal factionalism and leadership changes in recent years. Bimal Gurung, who was a prominent leader of the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha, faced legal issues and went underground for several years. In his absence, the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha split into multiple factions, each claiming to represent the true aspiration of the Gorkha people. Role of national and state politics. The Gorkhaland issue has also been influenced by national and state level political dynamics. The Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) has made significant inroads in the Darjeeling Hills, promising to address the Gorkha community demands. The BJP alliance with local parties and its support for the creation of smaller states have garnered its support in the region. However,
Despite the BJP winning from Darjeeling 4 times, the demand of the residents have not been met. The Trinamool Congress (TMC), the ruling party in West Bengal, has also been actively involved in the region's politics. The TMC has sought to undermine the influence of the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha and other pro-Gorkhaland factions by promoting its own leaders and initiatives in the Darjeeling Hills. The TMC's approach has included a combination of development projects and political maneuvering to consolidate its position. On the other hand, the TMC appears to have adopted a policy of divide and rule within the Gorkha community. Current situation. As of 2024, the demand for Gorkhaland remains a significant issue in Darjeeling, though the intensity of the agitation has subsided compared to previous decades. The focus has shifted towards achieving greater autonomy and development within the framework of the GTA. The region continues to face challenges related to infrastructures, unemployment, and socio-economic development. The Gorkha community's aspiration for a separate state is unlikely to be resolved in the near future, given the complex political dynamics and competing interests at play. However, the Gorkhaland movement has indelibly shaped the identity and political consciousness of the people of Darjeeling. The history of Darjeeling and the Gorkhaland movement is the story of a community's quest for recognition, autonomy, and development. From its early days as a British Hill Station to its current situation as a semi-autonomous region, Darjeeling has witnessed significant political, social, and economic changes. The Gorkhaland movement, with its root in the early 20th century, has been a defining feature of the region's history, reflecting the aspirations and struggles of the Gorkha people. Subhash Ghising's leadership marked a turning point in the movement, bringing the demand for a separate state to national attention. As Darjeeling moves forward, the challenge will be to balance the aspiration for greater autonomy and development with the need for political stability and inclusive governance. The Gorkhaland movement, in its various forms, will continue to shape the region's identity and the future trajectory.